What's going on, everyone? It's Marsellis back with another video, and we got to talk about Bitcoin because, like everyone knows, the whole death cross thing, there's a lot of FUD surrounding this. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt with the death cross. So we have to talk about the death cross with Bitcoin, what this means for Bitcoin, what you should do next, and also where we are going next with Bitcoin. So without further ado, let's get this going right now. So as you can see, Bitcoin right now is kind of following the same path as even the altcoins. They're all kind of doing the same thing right now. You know, they're kind of in this consolidation mode. If you want to say, you can say that we are inside of a little downtrend here possibly. But this is not a technical analysis. I don't want to do technical analysis right now. I don't want to do any of that. Right now, it's more about the fundamentals. Because with the death cross, yes, it's technical, but it's also a fundamental thing. Because you got to think, there's a lot of FUD around crypto right now. Like El Salvador just now got rejected for the whole World Bank's situation. They're trying to get them to help them make Bitcoin their legal tender, trying to get them to help make it global inside of their economy. So there's that whole thing going on. There's the whole thing with China, and you know, all the miners out there are getting shut down, and it's really messing up the hash rate with Bitcoin. There's a lot of different things going on. So let's talk about those, right? So look at Bitcoin right here before we get started on that. $35,000 Bitcoin right now. We can possibly be heading down to a $30,000 Bitcoin. Anything can happen, because look at this. The last 7 days only up 1%, and the last 24 hours 0.71%. And then when you look at this, you can see this is kind of looking like we just now had a jump, right? Oh wait, this isn't the 7 day. Here's the 7 day. All right, so look, we just now had this jump, right? And now we're kind of in this consolidation period where we're trading sideways, and it's like that period right before a drop. Like I've seen these periods all the time. And honestly, I'm not trying to do this to scare people. Obviously, we are going down a little bit. You can see that the selling is becoming more prominent by the moment. Like, as you can see, we peaked up here. And I know I didn't want to do the technicals, but I kind of have to. We peaked here. And if we don't continue to rise here, this is another point that we're going to peak. And then we're going to continue to go down like that. And then we're just going to continue to have less sell orders. We're going to continue to go down a little bit. But even if we get down to 30K, remember, it's just a buying opportunity. Like, even with this whole death cross thing, this is a buying opportunity. So if we do continue to drop for the death cross, just take it as a buying opportunity. Don't look at it as Bitcoin is crashing. Look at it as Bitcoin is giving a buying opportunity to the long-term hodlers out there. So that's what we're doing. Remember, every single altcoin here is going to be following this. But actually, look at this. We are starting to have more buying. But these, as you can see, the green bar here, these are the buying bars, and they're getting way smaller as they're going up, which is a huge sign that we're about to have a little bit of a sell-off right here. So we're probably going to end up going down a little bit here. But this is not the big thing we really need to talk about, right? So what we really need to talk about, look at this. Bitcoin's long-feared death cross. Oh man, I know everyone is waiting for just to talk about this, right? So the Bitcoin long-feared death cross, let's read about it. So I talked about it in my Shiba Inu video and how it correlates directly with Shiba Inu. And now we need to talk about how it directly affects Bitcoin and how this will overall affect the whole crypto market, because that's what it's really coming down to, the whole crypto market, right? So all right, Bitcoin has been falling for 4 straight days, while from the outside looking in, it may seem that the latest price movement has only strengthened the concerns regarding the death cross. But do not let the speculations fool you. Bitcoin's death cross finally transpired in the wee hours of the 19th of June. The ongoing consolidation in the coin span output profit ratio, oscillating between profits and losses, which suggested an uncertain Bitcoin's macro view after the market-wide capitalization in May was not good news either. The price of the crypto asset was currently hovering around 35K, blah blah blah. Let's keep going down here. So over here it says, however, this does not necessarily mean a shift to the bearish zone. There remains indecision in the market. This could be attributed to the small traders who appeared restless. On the brighter side, the crypto miners remained positive about the bigger picture as they continued to hodl. So what's all the fuss around the death cross, right? So now before we get to the death cross, let's look at what they're talking about here. They're talking about how, and remember what I said, we are having some red candlesticks coming in. So we're going to go down a little bit more. And yeah, we may actually end up going down to 30K, but that's not bad. Look, the death cross only affects us negatively if we go below 30K. If we go below 30K, that's when, we're just all hell breaks loose. We're just not gonna, it's not gonna be pretty if we go below 30K. Because if we go below 30K, the next support line is most likely 20K. And I know it sounds bad, but it's the reality of it. Like 20K is pretty low, so 25K we would hit there before bouncing probably back up to 30K, and then doing a dead cat bounce, and then, you know, faking people out, and then a 20K. But what they're saying here is, what we're seeing now, we're more than likely not going to go that low. And that's what I'm telling you all. The worst case scenario is 20K. And that's not that bad. That's a buying opportunity. That's the worst case scenario. And we shouldn't be looking at the worst case scenario, because as you've seen with Bitcoin and every other crypto, we jumped up so much this year. So we shouldn't really be looking at the worst case scenario, because the use cases for crypto is going up and up and up. And remember, back in the past, 2014, 2015, 2017, 2019, 2020, like when back in the past, we didn't have all these use cases. El Salvador didn't accept them as a legal tender. We didn't have all these different places accepting Bitcoin. We didn't literally have volcanoes using their mining capabilities, literally mining Bitcoin from volcanoes. Like, it's not happening yet, but El Salvador is working on that with their largest electricity company. They're working on making that acceptable, right? So yeah, we are having more red candlesticks here, a little bit of green there, but yeah, let's keep reading here with this Bitcoin def cross. So this is the def cross that they're talking about. Let's open this up in a new tab. So, and let's zoom in on this. Let's control zoom in. All right, so this is the def cross that they're talking about, and this is the area right here. So you can see right here what they're talking about there. So we're our 50-day moving average meeting our 200-day moving average. So that's pretty much what they're talking about. So this is a pretty bad thing if we actually do that. But remember, we are not expecting this to actually happen. We have so many different use cases for Bitcoin. Like, do you really think Bitcoin is going to go below 20K? Like, do you really think it's going below 20K? 20K is the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, we continue to trade sideways until July, and then we can just kind of take off once this whole Bitcoin cross thing, our def cross thing, gets out of the, because honestly, this is just fun. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is fear, this is uncertainty, and this is doubt at the highest level possible. Like, this is just fear, uncertainty, and doubt at the highest level possible. Like, it's nothing to really worry about if you're a long-term holder. Like, if you are a long-term hodler, as we call it, then this is literally nothing to worry about. This is expected. Like, we had so much growth this year. Like, we were expecting a drop. Like, I was honestly expecting this to the point where I sold my Dogecoins at the top and then bought back in at the drop, because I knew it was going to drop. Like, after the Saturday Night Live thing, I was like, oh my gosh, Dogecoin, like, it just ran up so much. And like, I know we're talking about Bitcoin, but Dogecoin ultimately follows Dogecoin ultimately follows Bitcoin until Elon Musk tweets. So that's how that pretty much goes. But look, we started the year at 9K. So even if we drop down to 20K, it's still not that bad, because we're going to rise up coming into the next year. But we're not really going to drop that low. But look, 9K all the way up to 64K. Did you really expect us to go all the way up without having a little bit of a scare and a sell off, right? But this was going to happen. And look, we've been trading sideways since May. So this isn't nothing new. I really do believe that we can come back from this, right? So they say, first, let us understand what a def cross essentially is. Like I said, def cross takes place when the 200-day daily moving average, which is the yellow line right here, undergoes a crossover with the 50-day moving average and moves over the ladder. So it is lagging. It is a lagging indicator, and hence it does not necessarily indicate a potential bear market in the near future. So mind you that. And it also says, look, if we look at the def cross in March 2020, that occurred a few weeks after the devastating market downturn of Black Thursday was. In fact, the beginning of a particular year-long run high. Hence, in this case, it produced a late signal. So Bitcoin has seen 6 events of a def cross since April 2014. The most noteworthy among all of them were the ones that materialized following the bull runs in the years 2013 and 2017, since the cryptocurrency suffered significant losses over the period. So what you have to think about, like I just now said, we did not have all these use cases for Bitcoin back then. Remember, Bitcoin is about to be accepted into ETFs in America. Like, that is huge. Like, America is literally one of the biggest economies in the world. And then for us to actually have ETFs with Bitcoin in it, that means normal people who would regularly not invest in crypto can now invest in crypto. People who know nothing about it can now invest in it. People could put it into their retirement funds, their Roth IRAs. You have to think about what these ETFs really mean for crypto in general. Like, this is going to really help all cryptos, not just Bitcoin, right? So let's keep going here. Besides the fundamental side, Bitcoin has a lot going on. Like I said, the recent El Salvador adoption of the cryptocurrency as a legal tender. And remember, with the volcanoes and the energy, like, come on now, like, using volcanoes for energy to mine Bitcoin, like, if that's not enough to make you want to buy Bitcoin, don't even invest in Bitcoin. because that's like one of the biggest things right there. Imagine if every single country found a way to naturally mine Bitcoin with their natural resources, right? Like natural renewable resources at that, not just, you know, completely natural. Imagine being able to use hydro energy. Imagine being able to use like electric, or not electric, but, you know, wind energy. Like imagine all this different renewable stuff that we can use, solar energy. Like we could do so much with Bitcoin that imagine Tesla making solar energy plants for Bitcoin mining. Like that is the goal right there. So let's keep going. To sum up, Death Cross in a bull market does not demonstrate a strong bearish period. Instead, this could very well be a period of accumulation. Remember, accumulation, the whales, they're going to continue to accumulate more Bitcoin. Look at these whales, they're buying more and more and more. As people spread FUD, the whales buy more Bitcoin. You spread FUD, they spread FUD. They buy more Bitcoin. They make you sell your coins at a low price. They buy your coins at a very low price, slapping you in your face, taking it from you. Like that's pretty much what's happening. They're spreading FUD, and then they're making sure that the smaller guys sell out on all of their crypto. All the small investors are like really losing out on this. So if you are a smaller investor, just know the whales want you to sell out. This is exactly what they want. They spread the FUD themselves. Like look at these whales. This whale literally on the 3rd of this month bought $344 million worth of Bitcoin at $38,000. If this doesn't tell you something, people who literally have $1 billion, $500 million, $250 million just come out here a month ago, 10 days ago, 5 days ago, and just buy all these Bitcoins left and right. All of them are doing it, not just one of them. They're all doing it. Look, this Bitcoin whale was literally made 3 days ago. They were literally made, look, 1, 2, 3. They're literally made 3 days ago. And look how much Bitcoin they bought. They bought $336 million worth of Bitcoin at 38K. If this doesn't tell you something, that all these whales, like people used to never do this. Like people don't just take $336 million out their hand, throw it at something that they don't know is going to go up or down, and just let it do what it's going to do. People like this, billionaires, they have financial advisors. So what these financial advisors tell them, they tell them, we know Bitcoin is going to go up. Just look up with what Cathie Wood is saying about Bitcoin. Even she knows that she has literal financial advisors working for her, and she has these people doing research for her, and then she comes to the forefront with the research that she's gotten for them, and she tells you every single time, Bitcoin is not going down. We are adding more Bitcoin to our position, because she's smart with it. She knows exactly what is happening behind the scenes, because she has people working behind the scenes looking at these things. So this is like what we want to think about. We want to think about what all of our whales are doing and where they're putting their money, because that's where we want to put our money. We as normal people, we can't afford financial advisors to do this research. Literally, people are paid to do this type of research. Like, look at this. While FUD may induce a phase of short-term unsteady price action, but it cannot dictate the long-term movement of the Bitcoin market. It will never dictate the long-term movement. There's too many billionaires invested. Do you really think billionaires want to lose billions of dollars? No, they're going to make sure they do whatever they have to make Bitcoin go up. So they're going to spread FUD just as fast as they're going to spread the good news. Just as fast as they spread the FOMO, the fear of missing out, they spread the FUD. So our earlier bull run, they were spreading the FOMO, the fear of missing out, saying Bitcoin's going to the moon, Bitcoin's going to 100K. We literally had billionaire investors coming out with it. Now we have billionaire investors coming out with Bitcoin's going down. The death cross is coming. FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because they want the price to go down. They want you to sell your Bitcoin at a very low price so then they can come in and swoop it up. What do you think is happening inside the house market? The housing market, literally, people are selling their houses, and then the big investors are coming in and they're buying it, and now they're jacking up the prices. It happens with every single thing, even the stock market. So we have to pay attention to these things. I don't want this video to be too long because my last video was like almost 40 minutes. So let's kind of speed through this, because that was really the main thing that we wanted to talk about. And all the rest of the things that I'm about to talk about are the reasons why Bitcoin is going to go up on a bullish pattern and not on a bear run with this whole FUD with the death cross. Remember, 20K is the lowest possible price for Bitcoin. Not saying it'll go that low, but that's the lowest possible price will go. They will never let it go below that, because they're going to snatch it up right there. So let's go on. That'd be more than a 50% drop too. We're already at a 50% drop from $64,000 down to $30,000. Like, that's already a 50% drop right there. So let's move on. Okay, so the quickest way to achieve financial freedom is with Bitcoin. This is actually true. This is why I am so heavy on crypto in general, because it's not just Bitcoin, it's all the altcoins too. Quickest way to financial freedom. And actually, my channel is all for financial freedom. My channel is all for financial freedom. I was making music in hopes of achieving that financial freedom through the music, and now I'm doing it through crypto, and then I'm going to invest into the music. But still, this is the easiest way to achieve financial freedom. Next to, real estate and the stock market, this is the easiest way, right? And next to actually having a high paying skill. So this is one of the easiest ways to financial freedom. So all you do is put your money in, you sit back, you chill. You can literally work a minimum, look, you can literally start working at McDonald's today, right? And if you have no bills and you live with your parents, you can literally put that $500 a week into Bitcoin, into any crypto you want. Imagine doing that and then becoming financially free off of working at McDonald's. It's a no-brainer. This is what you want to do. You want to put your money into stuff like this. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. I'm not trying to, spread FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm not trying to do none of that. I don't want to spread no FUD, no FOMO. I just want to put out the facts. So Bitcoin may lose 30K price level if stocks tank, analysis morning. So yeah, Bitcoin and stock market, they correlate hand in hand, because remember, the billionaire investors have their money in Bitcoin and they have their money in the stock market. So look at these positions that they have in the stock market, right? A lot of them are on margin. So if they lose money in the stock market, they have to take that money out of crypto and put it into the stock market to cover that margin. So remember, if the stocks crash, the S&P 500, all that, then just know Bitcoin may follow, because they have a lot of their money tied up and they will definitely need to cover that. And we just now showed, look, $336 million. This is a billionaire that put that in there, and this is probably 1 to 10% of their portfolio that they just kind of threw in Bitcoin, and they're like, let it do what it does, and we'll just put 1 to 10% of our portfolio in there, and then the rest is inside of the stock market with their hedge positions and all their margins. And I just think about it, there's so much debt in the stock market. If the stock market crashed, Bitcoin's gonna crash. It's just the reality of things. If the stock market crashed, Bitcoin will crash, and most likely the housing market, and then everything else. Everything's kind of intertwined. So you got to look at it like that, right? So moving on from there, the next Bitcoin halving in less than 3 years, how market is shaping up. So yeah, the market is definitely shaping up. With the 2024 halving still about 1,198 days, the stakes seem higher, perhaps because of the volatility of the trading market in 2021. So look, they're predicting, in 2024, another halving will happen. And, it's a technical prediction. It's not just they're just pulling it straight out of their minds, It's something that they're actually predicted before in the past. So if this happens, remember, this is going to kind of be similar to what's happening now. After a huge run up, we always have a huge dip. We always have a huge dip after a huge run up. And you can see that right here. After this whole run up here, we had this little dip. Same thing with the last 7 days. We had this huge run up, and now we're having a little bit of a dip. It always happens. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. So this is what we're seeing inside the whole crypto market. So let's look at this other thing. Figuring out how much Bitcoin hash rate resides in mainland China is still a mystery. Remember, when those floods were happening in China, the reason why Elon Musk pulled out is because he said, I don't know if this is 100% true, but he said it's because, once the flood happened, the hash rate went down. So we have to look at that. That's kind of facts right there. The hash rate did go down. There's really no way of telling how much is affected by it over there. But enough of that. Let's look at this. What is the Bitcoin taproot? We talked about this in a previous video. So let's look at this. The crypto industry is not easy to comprehend. I admit that it is not easy to comprehend. So considering some unfamiliar terms, enthusiasts come across in a bid to share a better understanding of some of these terms, we have provided a guide to help understand all there is to know about the Bitcoin taproot. Bitcoin, being the king of all cryptocurrency, bears a major focus that can impact the performances of the crypto market, most notably the need for an improved privacy security function for the flagship cryptocurrency is deemed inevitable. And pretty much this is increased inside security, right? So as such, the Bitcoin taproot has been innovated to basically address the issue. More precisely, Bitcoin taproot is a technological upgrade proposed to basically improve the performance of Bitcoin in regard to the privacy and smart contracts. It is majorly focused on the privacy security functions of cryptocurrency, thus anonymizing complex transactions executed with Bitcoin. So it's upping the security and upping the privacy, exactly what the feds want, exactly what the SEC wants. Everyone wants to regulate Bitcoin and crypto, and Taproot will help that. And just remember, regulation is not a bad thing. Think about it. Banks are regulated. So when you put $1 million into a bank, about $250,000 to $500,000 of that is insured. So the same thing is going to be happening with Bitcoin when it's regulated. The money you put in is going to be insured, but in order for it to be insured, we have to pay taxes on it, and we're already paying taxes. So why don't we just get it regulated legally, and then boom, everything's solved. Like, we're already paying taxes, so why don't we just get the legal regulation? Really, it's just the government putting the all-seeing eye over it, if you know what I mean. And then yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. So let's move on from there. Bitcoin under threat. El Salvador rejected that. Like I said earlier, El Salvador was rejected by the world banks. They're trying to get some help with making Bitcoin their legal tender. They got rejected, and then Mark Cuban got stung inside of the whole iron titanium thing. It was a rug pull. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about that because I already made a full video on that. It was a whole 40-minute video with me going completely in depth on that, and I don't want to make another 40-minute video. So it was too much to talk about. But pretty much, just to sum it up, there was a lot of FUD spread. I said it backwards. A lot of FUD spread about the whole iron titanium. People are saying it's going down, down, down. So what happened? People all tried to pull their money all at once. And what happened? They didn't have enough liquid money to like cover that. They didn't have enough money to cover it, pretty much. Like, everyone tried to take it all at once, but the money was in other places. Look at Tether. Most of Tether's money is not inside of cash. It's not inside of cash. Actually, they lend money to other companies. They lend money to offshore companies, which are most likely owned by them. So there's a whole some fishy stuff going on with Tether and different stable coins. Definitely look that up. You definitely want to do research on it. I have a whole 40-minute video on that, but there's a lot of fishy stuff going on there. So look at that. Another thing, Cardano's Hoskinson. This is Bitcoin's worst enemy. So let's see what Hoskinson says. This is Bitcoin's worst enemy. Bitcoin, with its slow settlement times, low programmability, and no native way to issue assets, while an incredible first-generation thing, needs a damn good upgrade, he says. But that's what the taproot is for. Literally, they're literally forming the taproot. So this is more FUD. Hoskinson, he has his own crypto, Cardano. Obviously, he's gonna spread FUD to make the dominant one less dominant and make his more dominant. So obviously, there's gonna be FUD spread. I like Cardano though. Cardano is really good. Proof of stake. I mean, come on. Like, check out Voyager. Link in the description. You can actually stake your Cardano on Voyager 5% monthly. You'll get 5%, and that's a pretty good deal right there. So definitely check it out. If I always say this in every single video, if you're a day trader, don't sign up for that Voyager link. They have the worst transaction fees. So if you're buying or if you're selling crypto on Voyager, they're gonna tax you huge. Like, I sold $4,000 worth of Litecoin, and I ended up paying $40 inside of transaction fees. Most people won't tell you this because they want to make that free $25 off you, but I'm gonna tell you that. But if you want to still go ahead and sign up, you'll be getting me $25 and you as well inside of Bitcoin. But remember, the biggest thing with Voyager is a trusted company. For one, it's trusted, and also they have Bitcoin, they have CBE, they have all this other stuff there. And really, Voyager is for long-term hodlers, right? Long-term holders. So if you're doing the proof of stake with Cardano, you can actually stake your Dogecoin. You can stake a lot of different things on there. So Voyager is a good pick if you're doing long-term, but if you're day trading, you do not want to use Voyager. Day traders, I recommend you either use Binance US or Qcoin. I actually day traded a lot with Binance US. They have very low fees, but they're not that I don't want to say they're not that trustworthy, but let's just say I tried to withdraw $4,000 and they didn't let me withdraw $4,000. They kept saying it was failing left and right. They kept saying it's failing. I got scared, so I was like, you know what? I sold Dogecoin, transacted it, turned it into Litecoin, sent it over to Voyager, and now this is why I'm telling you right here, Voyager is what I'm using now, because Binance US didn't let me take my money out, and they're not letting a lot of people do it. And it really scared me. I thought I was about to lose all my money. So I was like, let me go ahead and put it in Voyager because I'm a long-term holder anyway. So I don't really need it in Binance. But that's just a little tip. And if you look at Binance US, they have like 1.6 stars. So that's not a good rating. A lot of people lost millions of dollars due to them. I'm not putting them down, but let's just say they are doing some fishy stuff there. So this is pretty much all I have. Bitcoin fund holdings hit 4-month low for the ETFs. And remember, we're about to get ETFs here inside America, but yeah, this is just a more FUD, like more FUD. If you're uncertainty and doubt, not a big deal, but anyways, this is just more FUD. So I don't want to make this video too long. Like I said, I already made my point here. But yeah, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe. Check out the link in the description for a free stock with Robinhood and Webull, and I'll be back with another video. Peace.